Welcome back to the Right Side of Grace podcast. I'm Addie. I always forget. So last week we had a special guest, Lotta. If you didn't watch, you should definitely go view.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time watching being with Lotta.
Yeah, and actually I really enjoy getting to know. It's so sad because she's literally leaving us in like 2 months, but like she is such a fun person to be around. She's so funny.
I think you were most surprised with the fact that she didn't know English when she got here.
Yes, we don't have to point that out.
Huh?
We don't have to point that out.
Well, I mean, she knew. It was like she knew English like from a classroom setting.
Yes, I think
but not conversational.
I just did not realize how genuinely like smart she is. Like she's like seriously a genius, and it's crazy. So
she's the professor.
Yeah, that is what I think is crazy. Like hearing all about that, and then also like just hearing the difference in Germany and America obviously is cool. I actually, in one of my classes, we had a panel of international students come in and talk about like their experience. And it's really interesting because they got to ask the Americans well, yeah, that's right. They got to ask us like, what is like, or they got to ask us questions. And like every single one of them asked us a question that had to do with religion. Like every single one of them was like, why are there so many churches? Why are there so many denominations? Why are there like all? And I just thought it was really interesting that they were all so interested in like Christianity, because that's what they were all talking about. Anyway, that was kind of a segue, but
good.
So yeah, if you didn't watch last week, you should go watch.
Go watch it.
It was
not
good.
For our sake.
No, but for Lotta, because she the
international audience we're looking after.
I don't
all one of them.
Yeah, literally, Lotta's are only international.
We said you can watch them, but they won't understand it.
Oh yeah, because they won't know it. That's right, and that's when I didn't know.
So it's funny.
So I guess we'll go into our next segment, which is current events.
Yeah.
What do you want to chat about that?
Well, let's talk about. I think what's most recent is Trump's gold card.
$5 million.
I don't know that most people realize the difference between like $1 million and $1 billion, and then even $1 trillion. But that's an insane difference.
That's how much we're in debt.
Well, lots.
Imagine doing that right off.
Yeah. Well, you got like so the difference between $1 million. I heard this, several weeks ago. We even talked about this as a staff not too long ago. Just so 1 million seconds is like 11 days. If you just had 1 million seconds, it equal to about 11 days. 1 billion seconds. How long do you think that is?
I don't remember what we said. Like something years, 30 years?
31 years.
Is that right? Oh, okay.
I was just doing the math on our debt in seconds.
Oh, what is it, please?
1.2 billion.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because trillion is insanely different than like as much difference there is from like 1 million to 1 billion.
The trillion
to $1 trillion is completely insane.
Well, it's funny because like I couldn't even fathom that amount of money.
No,
that's crazy. Okay, well, back to the gold card. I actually think it's really cool. I was listening this morning to the Daily Wire, which you guys got me on. But I think it's a good idea because I thought it was cool how Trump was basically saying we want to use it as almost a recruitment tool for these big, huge companies to be like, I'm going to purchase this amount of gold cards and I'm going to use them almost like you're getting a D1 scholarship to go play football somewhere. Like, I think that's kind of.
No, I mean, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were disagreeing.
No.
So I think that was.
Carson Beck's $4 million, so.
Well, like, it's genuinely so smart. I think it's cool.
Well, it's already kind of been in place.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so like in the 90s, it was like EB5 or some plan they put in place, but it was like $1 million. The problem was it was like you could get around all these.
There's a loophole.
There's all these little bitty loopholes. They could get around stuff. They could bribe people, and you could actually get it for a whole lot less. It's supposed to be $1 million or like $800,000 investment in business, and then you could get this special green card.
Yeah.
But it just had so much corruption, on it, so it just didn't work out very well.
Well, before I really knew what it was about,
raised the price to $5 million, and they're going to have a better vetting process and make sure it's so. Like if let's say Nissan wanted a really good engineer, but that engineer lives in India, they could pay $5 million
Mhm.
to secure his green card.
Which that's what I think is so cool, because I also think it's going to make all these people 10 times more competitive, because they're going to be like, my only way to stay in America is to be the best I can be. And so I just think it's going to drive people even more.
I think it help. I think
it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was a genius, I'd be trying to get that. Well, I'm American, so it doesn't matter. But if I was like Lada, I'd be, she would probably get the 5 million thing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
we need somebody to come up with 5 million so we can keep her in America.
I do also think it's funny that it's like called a gold card, because it's like, I don't know, I just think it's funny.
The Trump gold card. Like, if you're playing spades, you got a Trump card.
Yeah, like I just think it's funny that it's the gold card.
Yeah, I think, they were talking about, like, if you sold a certain number of them, you could pay off the national debt.
Yeah, that's the other.
It's significant enough.
It might take them
it's a
billions of years. Wait, is that what it was, Allie? A billion?
1.2 billion.
That's how long it would take them.
that's how many years to pay off, or the debt is in seconds.
Yeah.
10 million.
7 million gold.
Oh, okay, 7 million. I heard 10 million.
Only okay, but reasonably think about 7 million gold cards, because companies are going to start allocating money to that. If they're smart, if you got a big company.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to do it in 1 year.
Oh, no. But I'm saying, like, over a course of, like, if this continues, I think more companies are going to start buying into it.
Yeah, of course, we just keep racking up debt every. I think even the new bill they passed is still going to rack up like $300 billion in new debt every year.
We're never getting out of debt.
No, and both parties,
it's just
Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. They all spend money.
This is kind of a crazy thing to say, but like, I just don't understand. I understand debt, obviously, but I don't understand how we are continuing to like go when we're in so much debt, if that makes any sense.
Oh, we just keep accruing debt.
I know, but like, I guess once Jesus comes back, it's like, then it's over. Like, what? Because like, America doesn't die and it doesn't go to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What?
Like, I don't understand. Like, let's say
when Jesus comes back is over.
No. I'm saying, I know. I'm saying like, when the debt's never going to go away. Like for you, like, let's say you have a bunch of debt when you die one day, and then you give it to all of us. Happy birthday. Here's a present. So it's like America, that doesn't happen for America. So it's just like, in my head, it just doesn't really it makes sense to me, but also I'm like, it's just so much money and we're in so much debt. And I'm like, I don't know how anyone could ever see a green light.
I do think tariffs could actually help.
Oh, okay.
I think, if they use the gold card correctly, it could help.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to pay it off. It help. Plus,
I do think that's a good idea,
of the wasteful spending that we have now, if we can cut that back and curtail some of that, that would be helpful. But that comes with pain. Like
right.
if you're cutting jobs, that means people are being affected by that. Like real people.
They're going to be upset.
Not fake people.
Right.
But real people actually lose jobs, and whether they're government employees or not, whether you're in the private sector and you're like, great, the government's wasteful and those employees don't do anything anyway. I don't think that's
true either.
I don't think that's a good way to paint.
I think that's kind of mean.
Yeah.
That's not very gracious. That's not how we are on this podcast.
Well, I mean, I do think there needs to be some cuts, obviously. And I think everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand it's real people.
Right. And it's real families. Yeah. So. Well, that's good. Do you want to talk anything about the RFK confirmation, or do you have any? I know you're not his biggest fan, but
yeah, I'm not a big RFK fan. I think a lot of people champion him, and anybody that there's like, I think people will support a certain side no matter what. So there's certain people that'll be, no matter what a Democrat does, they're like, they champion it or make an excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain people that no matter what a Republican does, whether Trump, they'll champion it and support it no matter what. I don't think that's a smart way to live.
No, I don't either. But I think that's with anybody. You can't just, because they're this person, you can't just ignore their flaws.
Right. Well, I mean, nobody's going to agree with everything.
Right.
We all have disagreements, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a
healthy
thing.
Yes, I agree.
We should be able to disagree. I don't love that RFK is a pro-choice advocate.
that's
Um,
not good.
And you can even say he's going to not really interfere with that while he's working in the Trump
Yeah.
cabinet, but I don't buy it.
It is interesting that he is like pro-choice. Well, it's not, this doesn't probably make much sense, but because he's so like, oh, I want to take all these like bad things out of the food so we can help our children.
Yeah.
But like, then he's going to be like, oh, well, you can kill them while they're in the womb. It don't matter to me.
As long as they're in the womb.
As
it don't
long as I
matter.
can't
Give them some
see.
red dye, maybe some yellow number 5, but when they come out, then they don't mess with them.
They ain't getting no red dye during that process.
So anyway, I have some issues with RFK. I'm not saying he's not better than what we had.
Yeah. I think he is doing some good things. I think that he's trying to change the health culture of America, which it needs to be changed. It's not, it's.
Just think people should be cautious with champion everything somebody does,
Yes.
just because.
That's a good way to say it. And then anything about the Ukraine and Russian war?
I think there's been some negotiations happening. So we'll see. I don't know how that all is going to go, but there's definitely some talks. Ukraine and the United States have struck a deal, at least in principle. I'm not sure it's been inked yet. I think Zelensky was supposed to come today or tomorrow and sign some paperwork. But basically, we're going to be getting like 50% of the mineral rights to Ukraine. They're going to pay us back for all the money that we spent on this war, giving them help and aid and assistance. So that it'll kind of be, there's not like security guarantees in the deal from us. There's just kind of like a payback deal. And then I think they'll start negotiations with Russia to see if they can end the war or not. Pray for the war to end. That's what I prefer. And hopefully they can get something done.
Peace on earth.
With all that political stuff, let's get that out of the way.
The boring. I'm just kidding. It's not. I enjoyed the political side today. Usually I'm against it. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Yeah.
But so we went to FCA.
Yeah.
Monday.
FCA Monday night with Charlotte FCA.
Go Niners.
They meet at 7:49
because
on Monday nights because you're the 49ers.
We are the 49ers.
7:49 at University Hills Baptist Church.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Not asking the right person.
But I think they have like they have an Instagram. You can follow it, whatever. But Matt Johnson was the speaker, special guest.
He did very
speaker.
well.
He did a great job, actually.
It was very enjoyable.
Yeah. It was good to see Matt. We love Matt. It was good to talk to him, spend some time with him. I am upset with him, though. I was hoping he would bring Bethany and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
But he did not.
Yeah. It's always cool. This is kind of not really related, but it's cool to see when he's just such a normal guy, but like he's also like such a good, like he's a really good teacher. And I always like, it's just so nice to not feel like sometimes when you're listening to somebody preach that they're just like trying to, oh, I know all these things and like I'm so wise, and like instead just like stand up there and just preach the gospel. Like I thought he was really good at that, and I don't know. He's just
what
like
was your favorite part? What was
well, I liked a lot of it, but I liked he did a what's the word?
Analogy
of
illustration.
An illustration of playing Uno, and you know usually they use the Uno reverse, like you know.
Well, different kind of Uno, like the special rules Uno.
And then he had a zero. Wait.
Yeah.
Yes, if he had a zero and I had one card, he could give me the zero card and I have to take all of his 18,000 and he would get to
swap.
go with the one. And he used that as an illustration, basically being like, the Lord does that. He gives you that zero.
Substitution swap.
And takes all your stuff and is like, get up from the table. You've won and I'll deal with the rest. And I thought that was such a good illustration. I also really liked how he was saying, like, FCA is not your church. Like, FCA is a part and it's a ministry that you can be a part of, and it's a great thing. And I think it's a great way for people to come together in fellowship, but it's also not your church and you shouldn't use it as a church. And I really liked that.
Yeah.
I like later thought of that.
Yeah. No, that's a big deal.
Because I do think a lot of people will be like, oh, well, it's fine. I go to campus ministry, so I'm fine. But it's like, that's not necessarily, it's great to do those things. And I think getting involved in those things is good. But I think you also have to have somewhere that's like a church.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, one of the big mistakes that people make, especially in college, is that they feel like that campus ministry is their replacement for church.
Mhm.
And the biblical mandate is for church.
Right.
You should be a part of a local New Testament Bible believing church and not just like some campus ministry or parachurch organization that can't be the substitute for your church. It's a good thing.
Mhm.
None of those things are bad.
Yes.
They're helpful. They connect people. They're good. They help kids connect on campus. And those things are great. And they have a lot of Bible studies. I'm all for that.
Mhm.
But they cannot serve as a replacement for the church and the New Testament mandate. So that's something you should, any college student should make sure they're getting involved. And that, also they're not going to be in college their whole life.
No.
It's usually a 4 to 10 year window, depending. I'm just kidding. It's usually 4 or 5.
I guess if you're a doctor or something.
Well, yeah. But it's a limited time.
Yeah.
And you're going to move to a different city or maybe the same city, but you're going to move away. You're not going to be working a full-time job at 30,
going to
FCA.
Unless you become a leader.
Unless your job is my job, then you might go to.
Or you become a leader.
Which is,
but that's
limited.
Still,
it's very limited.
Yeah.
There's a limited amount of people that do that.
I think and we keep coming back to this, I feel like, in a lot of our discussions, but I do think like church is just really important outside of not just having like some congregation of people. Wait.
Yeah, I think that.
I don't know if that's right.
I don't know. What I'm saying though is, and what your heart and your intention is to highlight that the local church is really where you're going to grow.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to learn deeply, grow, and connect deeply with people. This is where you're going to be challenged. This is kind of where people in the daily discipline of life grow deeply in their church.
Yeah. That's good.
So.
Yeah, but I thought it was really good. It was cool to hear from him.
Yeah, it was good.
Because I haven't heard him speak, I don't think, since I was in probably
he's been on
high
a couple
school.
he's been on that, what's that, Tucker Furr's what's the Tucker Fur's podcast?
For the Dogs.
For the Dogs? Is it DAWG?
I think it's for men. Right? I think it's for men.
Is that right?
I think.
For men?
Yeah.
Or for like sports fanatics? Didn't he like
No, it's biblical, but I think it's for men.
Okay.
It's right?
Bio says, go be a dog today. Be there for your dolls. This space for fun, vulnerability, and community.
Oh, maybe it's not for just men. I was wrong.
Are you a dog?
I don't
particularly like that term. It's Jesse's favorite thing to say. Jesse says,
"You're my dog.
I'm a dog. You're a dog." That's what he says.
We're all dogs.
Yeah, I got that dog in me. Was that what it is?
You didn't have it in him today. I'm just kidding.
So anyway,
sorry, that was dirty, Jesse. I did.
Anyway, it was good to see Matt, and maybe we'll have him on our podcast.
Oh yeah, he did ask to be a guest. Maybe tell us if you want that. Just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, then if we're gonna talk to the fans.
Oh yeah,
all 7 of you.
I was thinking we could do it at the end, but that's fine. We can drop it in here. We'll go ahead. We want you guys to start asking us questions.
Yeah.
We want to have like a little moment of, I don't know, like it could be anything. We're going to have one of our loyal fans, Andy Hester, submitted a question for my dad, and we're going to answer it at the end. Well, should I answer it too?
Sure.
Okay. But we want you guys to ask us anything, and you'll see like the question that he asks. I'm going to leave suspense. But the question that he asks is like super random. So it could be biblical, or it could be like something you want to know about us. Anything, honestly. Unless it's inappropriate, don't ask.
Speaking of questions and FCA that we just got through talking about, do you remember what we used to do in our youth group? Because we started this, and I used to work in FCA in Georgia with the football team. Shout out to the Alexander Cougars. Back in Douglasville, Georgia, Matt Combs, Kelby Watts, all that coaching staff down there. Nathan Ham was the principal. All those guys were awesome to work with. But we did like a what we called hot seat. So
was that at FCA?
We started with the football team.
I
So
did
like
not.
on Mondays, the coach would give me like 15, 20 minutes with the football team. We would do a hot seat with one of the players, and then I would do a short devotion for the guys every single Monday for the entire football season for several years.
You know what I think about? We have to give context to what the hot seat is. But the hot seat is basically like, right, we would be sitting up here in front of the youth group and
football team.
My dad, whatever you were in, my dad would ask us 5 questions.
That's right. 5 questions.
Which were...
Let's see if you can remember.
One of them was your biggest fear.
Okay.
Your faith.
Your faith.
Family. Fear. Not football. Family. Food. No. Favorite thing.
No. Future.
How is food? You went, that's not even related.
Well, because that was the hot. Anyway, so it was faith, family,
future,
fear, future, and then funny. Something funny.
Funny.
Yeah. So something funny.
So
but then after that, you would explain those things.
Yes.
Then you were technically on the hot seat and anybody could ask any question.
Yeah. But what I think is really interesting because serving in student ministry now, this would never happen. Like, I just think I don't know. Like, I just feel like some kids would just be like, I am not going up there. But like, you were like, no, you're coming up here. And we would sit up there and we would do it in front of everybody. And like, I don't think it was ever embarrassing. Also though, preference, our youth group was it wasn't that small. It was like 20 kids. No. Kid, maybe smaller. Was it smaller?
No.
Bigger.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah. About 40, 50.
Man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like the hot seat. I loved when like getting to hear what people.
We got larger, we were around 80, 90, but then it tailed off after, the last several years, it got to be smaller.
I do think that we should start doing the hot seat for the college ministry. I think it'd be funny.
We did used to do it, but it was kind of like leaders.
Yeah, because Caitlin was on it.
Yeah, Caitlin.
She was really good.
And Pastor Kyler and Lauren did it.
Oh, that's right. They did do it. I forgot about that.
We want to get Pastor Clint on the hot seat.
I don't want to get him on the hot seat.
No?
No.
Why?
Because I think he would have a heart attack. He would be
What do you think? Why?
Like, I just feel like he couldn't sit there. And like, if he had to sit right here, he'd be like jumping up and down.
Sitting still would be difficult for him.
I'm just kidding. I would like to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
I would like to hear more about his younger life. Like how he became a Christian and stuff, because I don't think I've ever heard that.
Guest on the pod?
He has said that he wanted to come on.
Definitely.
And I think we should put him on because Pastor Fun.
That's right.
I would be so scared though to interview him.
I would sit way over there and just let you go.
No, I don't.
You can do it by yourself.
Nope. I do not want to.
Anyway.
But yeah. So.
Yeah, I think the hot seat it's really helpful kind of getting to know people. You can kind of get to see, maybe some of the things. Because, most people would say, I'm afraid of spiders, which is completely legitimate.
Yes.
Arachnophobia is a real and true fear.
I'm afraid to throw up.
Wait, what is that called?
Oh, we looked it up the other day. Yeah. Sarah did. I forgot.
There was actually a name.
I'm not sure now that you're saying that.
Yeah.
It's something weird. Oh.
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah.
What is it? Meta?
Do you if you're of throwing up or of throw up?
Of throwing up. I physically do not. I can't do it. A meta. Yeah, I have that because anybody around me.
That sounds terrible.
I have to go away. I think about I can't. I don't know. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I even think
it's not good. Throwing up stuff is not good. I don't know how we're going to go from throwing up to the next section though.
You just say.
Because it's Milkshake Mondays.
Oh, ew. Now you're going to ruin a milkshake for people of America that are listening.
We had, so in addition to hot seat, stuff like that, when we did FCA, prior to doing FCA, I always like to do these little, I don't know.
He's always wanted to go viral. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
I don't know, but I always like to do a thing with my kids. So I was trying to establish some kind of, hey, like a tradition. And so when the kids were little, I tried to start these little, special days.
Yeah, we had fun events.
So I would just take one kid, 4 kids, so you got to spend time with them all. So I take one of them out for a specific thing. And so Addie and I's was
Milkshake.
Milkshake Monday. So on Mondays, I would take her for a milkshake. We'd go
From
to
gymnastics.
Yep, pick her up gymnastics. We'd go out. Went to I don't know how many different.
I feel like we went to a lot, and he would
We
always
did go to
film
a lot.
us. If you want to watch them, they're on YouTube. Actually, don't go watch them.
Not all of them made it to YouTube,
No, but
maybe
some of
4 or
them
5
are.
ended up.
We went to them, like, we would always do them even when we were on vacation, too.
Yeah.
Like, he would take us if we were at our Nana's or at the beach.
I took you and Gracie together one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, so we would always do that, and we would rate them.
So we had
5
a rating
straws.
Straws from 1 straw to 5 straws.
To 5. And I will say the best one I think I had was, and this is so weird because I don't really like vanilla ice cream. Well, I do, but it's not like, I like chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But it was vanilla milkshake from Dairy Queen.
That's right.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
And it was the best milkshake. I just think it was the person that made it that day.
Maybe. But that one was really, really, really good.
It was.
There's the one in Carrollton.
Mm-hmm.
Right there in the downtown, like Maple Street, Carrollton.
It was
Yeah.
It was really good. That was definitely my favorite.
That was good. I did like Zaxby's. They were pretty good.
Yes, y'all. Zaxby's used to have this milkshake, but it's not on their menu now. It's cookie. Actually, I got it the day that you almost died in the when you push the thing off your body. When he got trapped under we went whitewater rafting.
Whitewater rafting.
He got trapped. He pushed it off. That'll be a story for another time.
We'll tell that later.
Yeah, because it's kind of a long one.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Yeah, but it's a good one. But anyway, the day that he almost died, it was chocolate cookie something from Zaxby's. It was the best milkshake. And they used to give you the plastic cups.
Oh, yeah. You know what I liked? So one of my favorite ones was going to Burger King because their milkshakes weren't great, but they had these straws.
I've never had.
Huh?
I don't think I've had them. Did we go to
Remember
Burger?
the blue straws that were like the pipes?
The fat ones, yeah.
They're
I
called
do recall.
BK pipes. They were straws. They were huge. And so, like sometimes you get a milkshake and the straws are too small.
Like Cookout.
Like you get a headache trying to suck the milkshake up into straw.
Yeah. Just use a spoon.
You got veins popping in your head. Well, the Burger King had these straws that were like that big around. So it was pretty easy to drink the milkshake out of the straw.
I like that. Yeah. They were good.
And then you had Milkshake Mondays, but Shelby had
Fast Food
Fridays. So
I'm a
terrible father. I took milkshakes, fast food.
He's not very RFK approved.
This is why RFK and I have problems.
He's not a health
among other things. But anyway, at Shelby and I went on Fridays, we do fast food. And so we went all kind of different little places. And our ranking system for Fast Food Friday was fries. So from 1 to 5 fries. This was a 2-fry restaurant. Whatever.
What do you remember the best one?
I don't. Wendy's is pretty good.
Wendy's is good. Oh, I just remembered another milkshake I liked. It was from Steak and Shake. It was the red velvet.
I think we should reinstate milkshake.
It was the February special.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
It was Valentine's Day.
That's right.
It was red velvet. I think they literally took red velvet cake, put it in ice cream and stirred it up. Like, kind of like, that's what Cookout does. If you get a cheesecake, y'all, I did not know this. If you get the cheesecake milkshake, have you ever gotten that?
No.
They literally had like a cheesecake back there and they take it and put it in there, blend it up. Yeah, because they put it in their milkshakes. I did not know that. I saw that on Instagram.
I like the watermelon milkshake from Cookout.
We could make that tomorrow. It's literally, you just take watermelon and you put scoops of ice cream in there and mix it up. That's all it is.
Which I am for.
That's what I'm saying. We can make it tomorrow.
Okay, do that. Make it tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, so Fast Food Friday and then Charlie. And, Jesse didn't have one.
Well,
Jesse, he was too
young when we did it and we didn't really pick it back up. But we called it Skint Knee Saturday. And we had a rating system. What do you think the rating system for Skint Knee Saturday was? Band-Aids.
Hey, good job.
Exactly. It was Band-Aids from 1 to 5. And we'd go do
stupid
stuff that boys do. Shoot something.
Go to the dump.
Gun or go to the dump, throw a bunch of trash away.
And you got to drive the truck.
We're not supposed to tell people that. But
that was like 18 million years ago.
Okay. I did let him drive the truck.
Did you guys have a trash? Yeah. Did you guys have a trash truck growing up? Oh my gosh, Allie, we had that. I loved that thing. It was like, Wait, like a truck that you drove trash off, or like a trash truck come pick up trash? Oh, no. Like, we ourselves had a truck that we threw trash in, and
Oh, the door didn't shut. There was, it did.
It was a bench seat.
Yeah, bench seat.
Red, I think it was like red interior or something. It was
it was a Dodge Dakota. It was like 1995
that
Dodge
thing
Dakota.
We would drive that all around the backyard.
You would.
It was so fun.
It was kind of like we had 4 acres in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. And we had 4 acres that we owned, but we were next to 1,000 acres
because
somebody else owned. But
we called it the pit. That thing was the best. I loved the pit.
We did. We have a big party at the house, and
we'd have
people would go over. And
we would play manhunt
or capture flag.
Yeah, that stuff was so fun. So I wish like we could have taken our house and like cut it and then just plopped it in Charlotte.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know, people have done that.
That would have been a long trip from.
Unfortunately, you can't cut the land.
So yeah, the land.
That's what was so fun. And we would, I don't know if you guys know what airsoft guns are.
Yeah.
But Charlie would kill us with those little airsoft guns.
Charlie also shot somebody's tooth out on it. Like the craziest shot. Like, I don't know, he may have been like, 150 yards away from this kid. On the other end of our property, he's got one of these long sniper guns, as long as this table from airsoft. And they're playing, they're shooting each other. They got the mask on. They got everything on.
No, he didn't. That's why
why. One of them lifted one up or something. I'm not sure.
I didn't think he had the mask on.
This is Caleb. Caleb would follow every rule. Caleb Wiggins follows all rules.
I just remember that was not good.
Yeah, it ended up not being a good thing. But we were away. But Charlie shot the kid and hit him right in the tooth.
Front tooth.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did get it all fixed? I mean, it took a while.
Yeah, it's fixed now.
Yeah,
I think it's a fake tooth. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you want that on air, Caleb. Sorry.
So anyway.
He probably doesn't listen.
Yeah, he's not listening. So anyway, but Skidney Saturday, we would do that. That was fun. A lot of boy stuff. Those are just good moments for our family.
Keep men. I'm just kidding.
So
I know I've lost this.
It was good. Those were things that we did with our family. And it was just helpful to us. Also, the one thing that we did with you guys that I don't think is, some things that people don't do a lot of is, kids tattletale on everybody. My brother hit me. Charlie did all this.
What you're talking about?
Well, how kids are.
No, yeah, I'm saying I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
One of the things, remember what we used to tell you guys, if you started to come tell on your brother or your sister, I would say, well, you need to work it out with them first. Oh. And if you can't work it out with them, then you can come talk to us. So we kind of try to have this like Matthew 18 approach to, to parenting, like where because you're 4 kids, if I was trying to referee every fight and everything, that would have been my whole life.
I also think a lot of times we would get in fights and we didn't want to tell y'all because we didn't want to get in trouble more.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Like we didn't want to there were so many things that would happen. It wasn't even really fights. Like we would like wreck something or somebody would like get hurt and we wouldn't tell our parents because we didn't want them to know because we thought we were going to get in trouble. Well, if we
How many times did you wreck that 4-wheeler?
Oh my gosh, so many times, and you guys, we never like would say anything because we thought you were gonna be like, you can't drive it anymore. But you probably watched us out the window, wreck it.
Probably.
There was this one time.
Tell it.
There was this. You probably have heard the story, but Shelby's room was like over a little like you could basically get on the roof from her window.
Yes.
And Charlie had gotten on her roof, and he had this sniper airsoft gun. And me and Shelby were on the 4-wheeler, and we were riding, and we were, like, going around her house. Well, Charlie, I was, like, trying to snipe us, and he couldn't hit us. So finally, he had gotten down from the roof, and he started chasing us. And I got really scared, and I, like, jerked the 4-wheeler, and me and Shelby flipped off of it, and the 4-wheeler flipped. And Charlie comes running over. He's like, are y'all okay? He's like, don't tell mom and dad. Don't tell mom and dad. And I'm like, we're not going to tell mom and dad. I was like, we're the ones that wrecked it. And so, yeah, there's so many things that we did.
He thought he was going to get in trouble because he shot you?
Yeah, well, he should have been shooting us on that thing. The only way I would ever play Airsoft War is if I could wear like 18,000 layers of clothes.
I remember this. I remember y'all looked like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
It would be 92 degrees outside and I was in like 8 sweatshirts and we're like running up sweating bullets because we didn't want, because it hurt. I did not like it.
Yeah.
Now I feel like if we played now, I don't think it would hurt. Actually, it probably still hurt.
I'm pretty sure it still hurts.
Whoever created that game is insane.
Well, you know,
were you
when I was
supposed
little,
to shoot people with them?
I don't. Well, yeah, they started doing it because they give you a mask and all that kind of stuff. And then there were warehouses that were airsoft. They were built for that activity. But when I was growing up, we all had BB guns and we would shoot each other with BB
Okay.
guns.
Well,
So,
it's a little different.
so,
Yeah, no.
of course, you know, the higher powered BB guns, nobody wanted those to be in the game. So it was all the Daisy, you know, little.
I had a
whatever,
pink BB gun.
Red Ryder guns. Anyway.
Good stuff. Yeah, we had a good childhood.
I think so.
I
At least I
would-
hope so.
It's horrible. No.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions.
Oh.
Let's ask about politics just one more time. How is it when people disagree in politics? Is it typically like anger, frustration, people get mad, or can people disagree calmly? And do you feel?
I feel like it just depends on who you're speaking to. Like, I think some people are like really calm and really like, you know, like that's your opinion. Like, I'm good with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want to talk about it at all. And then some people are just like, you cannot believe that. You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's more of the anger side. I think both parties can get angry, but I think like some people are just way more reserved about it and way more understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it is really a heated. I just think it's something that like, it's weird because I feel like it's something you shouldn't talk about. But like people say, oh, you don't talk about that. But then everybody talks about it. So I'm like, you're not. Like you say, oh, we don't talk about that. Like for me personally, I do not talk about politics ever. Like I don't go around like telling people this is what I believe. I'd never post anything about it on my social media. Not because I don't want to stand and like be like, I'm a Republican. This is like the first time I've ever like said anything about politics publicly, I guess. But I think there's a good way to go about it. And then I think there's more of a bad way to go about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all up to like your own preference, like whatever you want to do. But I do think a lot of people are very hostile.
Yeah, I think people like feel like, well, if you don't agree with me, you're not listening to me.
Right.
You know, and I think, well, I'm actually listening to you. I just still don't agree with you.
Yeah.
So, and it's okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think you just have to learn to be okay with disagreeing with one another.
Yeah.
Like we're like in no universe are we all gonna be for the same person and for the same party. So it's like if they believe, I do think there's certain situations like abortion and stuff like that. I do think you should take a stand on that because
Absolutely.
that's a different situation. I don't know if this is a good thing to say, but I don't really equate. Is that the word?
I don't know.
Well, we'll see
It
if
is
it's
a
the
word.
word. I don't know if I equate abortion with politics necessarily. Like I feel like abortion is in its own category because it's just at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's something political. I think it's genuinely like it's just death and life. And I don't think you should just be like, well, I'm a liberal or I'm a Democrat, so I believe that it's your body, your choice, whatever. I think that there's probably Republicans out there that are like, it's your body, your choice. I think people have their own opinions about abortion, and I think that's something different. Like, and I think you should, as a Christian, make a stand for that. But I do think you don't have to do it in some really mean way.
Yeah, I just think I think you're right that it's not a political issue. It's a life and death issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a human nature issue. Like we shouldn't be for the killing of innocent life.
I just don't think that should be
before
something.
it even has a chance to have life.
Right. It's just, I just don't think that's something that we can use. Like, obviously, Trump wanting to, you know, he's not, what is he doing with abortion, actually?
Well, he was quiet. They got some there. I think they were talking about defunding Planned Parenthood, but I
See,
have
like,
no
I just,
idea
that in
what
my
he's
head.
actually going to do. Who knows which way he's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did appoint some judges. We were able to overturn Roe v. Wade. which some people were champion and some people were like, it's going to make things worse. It's the states that get to choose that.
Right.
And
Because at the
think that
end of
was
the
a-
day, like, that's the one thing. Like, at the end of the day, whether Trump was in office or not, like, it really doesn't matter. Well, it does. But, like, I'm saying for the abortion rights, because it's up to the state.
now,
Now.
it used to be federal law.
Right.
And now.
But yeah,
states.
I don't know. What do you think?
I wish we could abolish it all, but it's not going to happen.
Oh, with the.
So I'm okay if we can keep chipping away until it's completely gone.
Yeah. I would agree.
I'm hoping, I would hope one day we would not have abortion.
Yeah. And I think as Christians, like, we should go into all those conversations, like political and abortion, or just those topics that are not supposed to be talked about. If somebody brings them up, like, you should just be understanding and, like, give grace and not go about it. I think we talked about this last night at church, but basically just how, like, how people perceive you is a really big deal. Like, if you're just, like, sitting here and I'm angrily telling you, like, this is what you need to believe, you're not going to receive it as well as if I'm, like, very calm and, like, normal.
Yeah.
And
I think you can have conviction and stand firm without being a jerk.
Right.
Or being ugly.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean the people you're standing firm against won't
Be ugly.
perceive it as you being a jerk. But, sometimes people perceive no matter what they perceive it one way, no matter what you truly say or are doing. They'll feel like you're being attacking, even though you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important for us to have conviction, stand firm, and not be swayed, and don't get too excited about it when somebody's upset at you.
Yeah.
That's just, this has upset you. I don't care. If I'm going to offend somebody, I would rather offend everybody in the world than offend Christ.
Yeah.
I would rather everybody else be offended than me offend Christ. I think this is a life and death issue. I think this is an issue that Christ wants us to be on the side of life.
I think that we should go into, like, all of those conversations, like, even if it's political, whatever. I think you should just go into every single conversation with the, like, idea of, I need to be gracious to that person. So, like, your political conversations, or you trying to prove somebody wrong, shouldn't be different from your everyday conversation, basically. Like, I just think that it should be something that you're not trying to shove down somebody's throat, or you should be able to hear them out because you're trying, like, you want them to hear you out. So give them that same.
Yeah, you don't have to be ugly. Here's the thing. The Bible is clear. Truth divides, right? Christ came and he brought division because he's the truth.
Right.
The truth will cause division. It's just the way it is. So the truth itself can divide. My personality doesn't have to help it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I don't have to add to it.
Yeah.
I can just state clearly, hey, this is what the truth is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stand with the truth. If that's offensive to you, I hate that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to offend you, but this is what I believe.
But I would rather you be offended
than I offend Christ.
Right.
Offended. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So.
Okay. So back to our, I guess this is kind of a quick turnaround from our serious conversation.
We're not really good at this transition.
But we are. We got to get better at transitions. We know. We're trying.
It's fine.
But we're going back to our audience question.
All right, let's do it.
From Andy.
Andy Hester.
Brother Andy.
His deep question.
That's going to take us 20 minutes to answer. I tried to wing it. It was really bad. Don't cut that.
What is your favorite drink?
My favorite drink in the world?
I mean, I guess.
Like, I'm trying to think, because I drink a lot of water.
Right.
So my only, like, fun drink that I drink consistently every single day is a latte.
A latte.
And specifically...
Yeah, let's find out what that is.
Should I tell my order?
Why not?
Okay.
This is the question.
I specifically I recently, a year ago, got a Breville. And might I say it's probably my favorite, but also my least favorite purchase I've ever made. because there's been moments where I literally want to take that thing and chunk it out the window. Chunk, that's not a word. Chuck it.
That's fine.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
I want to throw it off a bridge. I want to drive over it with my car. I don't think my car could get over it.
No, it wouldn't.
But I want to do something with it. But then some days I'm like, this is the best thing ever. But yeah, I got a Breville. And if you own one, you'll know what I'm talking about. Unless you have the fancy touch one, which I ain't got that. I got the manual operating one. But I do a latte with...
First world problems.
I know. But still. If you have the $2,000 one. I'm just kidding. I want to say I got mine on Facebook Marketplace. Me and my dad went and picked it up. It was the best deal. It was like $200, which I know that's a lot for a coffee maker, but I use that thing every day.
You do actually use it every day.
And I'm a honey girl. I put some honey in there, some milk. Perfect.
All right. So I don't know what you didn't actually explain the drink.
I did. So my order is a honey latte.
Oh.
But make sure, guys, if you take my recommendation and you get a honey latte, sometimes the coffee barista, now I don't go to Starbucks. I'm a Starbucks hater, so I don't know about Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks.
But sometimes they don't melt the honey in the shot, the espresso shot. And then it's going to be bad. And Shelby can attest to this because we get the same order. It's going to be bad every time. Like, if they don't melt the honey, it sits at the bottom and it's all chunky. So if you're a barista out there and you're listening to this and you've never made a honey latte, melt the honey in the shot.
Okay.
Because that is what enhances the flavor. And it actually like makes the espresso shot sweet. So when I make it, I have to, you put the honey in and then you can either brew the shot over it or you can just squeeze it in there and mix it up.
I appreciate you sharing all that.
You asked.
No. I appreciate it.
I'm just saying that's a serious thing because nothing is worse.
Nothing is worse.
When you go to a coffee shop and you spend $8 on a latte and it tastes like you got it from Starbucks.
Nothing is worse than that. That's the worst.
Allie, attest.
I agree.
It's so bad because you're like, especially when I have that thing, I'm like, I could have made this at home 10 times better.
And for like a quarter of the price.
Exactly.
Right.
So
That's
then,
the worst. I mean, like, the guys that get in a wreck and he breaks his arm.
Oh my gosh, Dad.
He's hanging over like, man, this is terrible, but have you ever been to this coffee shop?
Honestly, I think I would rather maybe stub my toe.
I mean,
No, but genuinely, it's just every time if I go and like, you can just tell when they
get my arm chopped off. But
listen,
at least I got
a good latte,
coffee with honey melted.
Because if you see that cup coming across the counter and you can see that honey sitting at the bottom, my brain immediately is like,
why are you getting hot lattes where you can see it?
Oh, not hot. I'm an iced latte girl. Sorry, I forgot to disclose. I like ice.
Wait, well, I don't understand the whole melting and then cold.
Okay, see, this is where they get it wrong. If you do a hot latte, it melts automatically because the milk's steamed, everything's hot. Iced latte, it doesn't melt because honey and cold, it like solidifies, congeals.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that word.
Oh, sorry.
Ugh, sorry. It doesn't melt. So if the barista doesn't know what they're doing, which understandable, it's not, I mean, it wasn't very common. It is getting way more common now that everyone orders, I feel like, a honey latte. But yeah, you just got to melt it. Melt it in that espresso shot.
Melt it in the ice.
No, melt
latte.
it in the,
No.
yes.
Melt it if you're going to do an iced or cold latte.
I think you should do it in the hot latte too, because I think that it's just like a science with espresso. It literally makes the flavor.
There you go. Andy, I hope that was helpful.
You're probably not helpful. Mackenzie will like that.
Okay, good. My favorite drink, I think right now, is the Pepsi Zero Cherry.
Oh, yeah. You have been drinking that a lot.
I absolutely love that
You're
drink.
back on your soda kick.
Yeah, I need to get off of You got to get
off. You need to wean off. Wait.
I don't need to wean off anything. Don't need to do that.
You can go once a day.
No, there just needs to be a hard stop.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey. You can't, there's no like slow, I don't do slow stops.
One time I tried to tell Mom that she should like limit herself to like one, because she was like trying to tell me, not that I was like, you need to do this. She was like telling me that she wanted to go to like not drinking as much soda. And I was like, you should just do one a day. She's like, what about too. But that's like, I do that too with like a bunch of other things, but.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. Just need to stop.
Okay.
It has to be cold turkey for me.
That's fine.
That's it. That's my favorite drink.
That's a good drink. I guess I've never had it, but I'm sure it's yummy.
It's good. I like it a lot. I think it's really good. All right. I think we've had a long conversation today.
I think so too.
So was there a lot on here we didn't get to? Maybe we can get to it next week.
Yeah. I also think what we were saying earlier, like just make sure if you guys have questions for us, I think that would be kind of fun for us to answer some questions.
Yeah, more questions so she can explain lattes.
And if you guys order the honey latte, let me know. I want to know if people like it. I love it. And I used to be an oat milk girl. No.
I think RFK is canceling oat milk.
Well, oat milk should have been canceled a long time ago. But I just drink it with whole milk. Very yummy. Okay. Or if you want to do 2% or almond, do what you want. Oh, right. Just drop them in our Instagram. You could DM us, or if you don't follow us on Instagram, put them in the YouTube comments.
Yeah. YouTube.
You could comment on our latest posts. What else? What's another way? Oh my gosh. They can totally email us.
Would you put that in the...
Well, it's in the Instagram. Email us
Can I do like this? Or
the right side of grace. The right side of grace, right?
Yeah,
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com. We want to know your burning questions.
I'm sure they're burning. I'm sure they're just...
I think that it will be fun if people ask us questions.
Man, if we get 4 questions, I'll be shocked.
If we get any, if we don't get any, you'll know because we won't need to answer. That would be so American. We should make up.
We'll just fake it. We'll just act like we made it. Add questions.
Okay, so ask us questions, and we will see you guys
next time.
Or you'll be listening to us next week.
Sounds good.
Goodbye.